Good afternoon, everyone. We'll just wait for another 2 minutes and start.
Excellent. Excellent.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for joining today. We are going to present VisiCase Analytics modules. Uh, sorry. Okay, so we have embedded our system with a platform called Yellowfin. And what it means of integrating with Yellowfin is you have seamless experience in terms of just accessing analytics from VisiCase itself. You don't have to log in, log out, and log into some another platform. It's just a tab on the left-hand side, which you can click on, and you will have analytics turned on. Uh, we have built in some VisiCase default dashboards for immediate insights. Whereas you also have ability to create your own reports and dashboards with advanced analytics feature within this. It's easy to use for non-technical users for a quick insights on data. There's also got some smart alerts and which could trigger automated alerts for you to say there was a hike or there was a low in some datas and some smart charts, and it could present to your timelines. It also has got a storytelling feature, uh, which helps you prepare direct reports for your board meetings, for your management meetings, executive meetings. You can have your presentations, Word documents created directly from the platform itself. It has also got integrated AI features. We have some basic AI features already turned on with the advanced analytics, and will be coming up more in the next versions. It's fast in performance wise, and it would help you create your personalized views as well. In terms of data visibility that you have with VisiCase Analytics is organization-wide. What that means is all the dashboards reflect data that's based on the organization-wide data that you have entered into the system. It's not based on individual user access, so it gives you an insight of whole organization to make smarter decisions for operations, different programs, for different executive teams, depending upon the reports, but it gives you an overall view of the organizations, which help you make better decisions. Um, uh, Without you, I'm just going to switch to the system and show you our analytics. So I'm going to log in as a user to a training system. As you see, you can give an access to anybody in the organization via the user access. You will have a data analytics tab over there, a hat, which you can assign it to anybody in the organization at before level 2. So you have data analytics here, you click on it, and it will open up straight. You'll not see this because it's not licensed at this stage, but once we configure your system with the system, then it would not show you that message, and you will directly see the dashboard. As VisiCase, we have done 6 inbuilt dashboards for you at the start. The first dashboard that we have is regarding incidents. The incidents, it gives you overall trend the trend overview in terms of how many incidents it has increased or decreased over the years. We also have a drill down option. So wherever you see this icon, it means there's a drill down. What it means, you can also have an insight for each of the month as a breakdown, also based on the locations. So when we go to the first chart, you see overall years with the breakdown of the location with different colors. And once you drill down into it, you have a visibility based on each month as well. And when you drill down further, you have visibility for each of the day as well, based on which location it is. So you have an overall view of the incidents, how they have been over the years. You could also have an overview of the incident types over the years, different types of incidents that are sitting in the system. So you have the colors based on different types of the incidents, and similar, you could drill down based on each of the years and see a breakdown with the number of months, and even further drill down with the dates as well of the months. We have Incident Risk Explorer. What it means is giving you an overall view over the years of how many incidents have happened with the severity in a particular category. So say if we had behavior of concerns, overall we had 11 incidents with behavior of concerns. And out of that, we had 5 as a moderate, 2 as insignificant, and 4 as the minor. So those are the legends, and you could have an overview of the categories along with the severities of the incidents. And if there's no data provided for it, sometimes people don't select it, then you would not see it, and you will see that there's no data provided for certain incidents. But that's the combination of incident plus category. In terms of hotspot, you could look at what time of the day there are more incidents happening with the location insights. So for example, from this hotspot chart, what you could figure out is that Perth Hills has most of the incidents during the morning sessions. And when you drill down into it, you could also see what timings it has happened most of the time. So if you see the critical time of the day was from 9:30 to 11:30, 12, that's the most critical time, and you would have resources in the locations accordingly to manage those incidents. So it gives you a visibility of location plus the timing during the day where it happens the most, and you can have some more insights to it. This also helps you, you have different filters available, which you can filter by, and it would reflect all the charts over there. So if I just want to see the data for Alice Springs as a thing, then it changes my dynamics. It shows me how many of the incident trends and everything I had during for the location Alice Springs. Okay. The next one that we have is revenue. What we have in revenue is overall to figure out how much money you have made and how much of the money you can still get from somewhere. So that's the indication. So the first two charts are reflecting in terms of what money is still waiting to come in into the organization. So rejected awaiting reapproval, as everybody know, you could have rejections um, across the fundings, NDIS, as well as in the other fundings, you could have rejections coming in, and you could do it via claims admin page. So it would indicate here how many rejections are sitting in your system that are not yet approved, and you have to act on that, and that's where your money is getting hold on. In terms of approved, not claimed yet, it also indicates how much of the money has been sitting in the system as approved, but it has not been claimed in terms of the system. So claimed means when you run the interfaces, that's when you say it is claimed. You do it as an invoice interface, or you do it as an NDIS claim interface or HCP claim interface, doesn't matter. It's the interface run that indicates you have went and claimed the money on. So what this indicates is that you had some cash that's not been claimed yet. And also you could see a breakdown with the 2025 example saying how many of the funds have not been claimed from the previous months. It's logical that we would see that's the majority of the claim is for just the last month that's not been yet done. So that's a good indication. But if you have more of the data here, that's something that an operation should look into. What we have here in terms of the revenue that you have made with different funding programs in the system. As you know, VisiCase could support multiple fundings. You get a split of how much money you have made in which of the programs. So this kind of clearly indicates you that you have made most of the money with catalog BDT, which is maybe say aged care example, and you have doubled your earnings in that sector, whereas the other ones have been quite stagnant. So that's an indication of what kind of business is going and making more money and what's kind of stagnant in terms of revenue. We also have an indication of overall approved amount versus the resources paid amount. As VisiCase has interpreted award interpretation in the system, we calculate the resource cost as well for each of the shift that has been um, allocated to them. So for each of the financial years, you would know how much amount that you have claimed from the system versus whatever you have allocated to the resources as a shift, how much expenses you have incurred in terms of the resources, the resource cost, and you could see your clear margins over here. You could also have some drill downs to it further for each of the months. Next is the workload. This is giving you an indication of how much of the workload that's there within the organization. The first graph that we have is how many service agreements that you have signed and exited for the clients. Uh, so if you have signed more service agreements versus you have exited, that means it's more of the workload that you have. And it's a good indication of the organization as well that you see how many of the new contracts that you are signing each year. So that's an indication of a renewal of the service agreements or signing new service agreements and how much of the business you are having. Uh, we also have some more drill downs here in terms of commenced. You could see how many service agreements you signed under what funding, and how many service agreements you exited under what funding. Again, you have some drill downs with it. Um, sorry, that's the there, and then you can have a drill down over here with both of the uh, common charts together, where is commenced and exited, and you can see per month wise what's the uh, breakdown. What we also have here is direct support hours by the funding. So how many of the support hours that you deliver or have planned within the system that you can see. It's an indication of hours. So for example, 2025, if I look into it, I've almost delivered 2,000, 1,700 services of hours. And I have almost scheduled 400 hours of services for the future. So it's also about planning that you can see here, a prediction of how many hours that you really need. And you could also see some past trends of how many average hours you have delivered. So if I go to 2024, you know on an average we deliver how many service hours. We also have your resource workload trends. Over here, we show you indication based on pay cycles. And we also show you your job vacancy trends based on the pay cycle. So for example, in the last pay cycle that I had from 24th of June to 7th of July, I had 16 underworked employees and I had um, 56 overworked employees. Again, this is comparing based on the contracted hours that you would have entered in the system. So if it is correct, then it would show you the correct data here. If it's not, then it might not show you the correct data. But the indication here is to see these charts together, to see in the last pay cycle, we had 21 jobs that were vacant, not allocated to anybody, versus we also had few people who were underworked. Now, if I look into the details of it, I would know what those people are and an indication of it. So it gives you an indication of future, say how many jobs has not been still unallocated versus also how many resource has been already underworked and overworked breakdown that you can have a look into. Uh, the next one that we have is budgets. Um, what we have here is available budgets in the current funding period and available budgets in the expired funding period. So available budgets in the current funding period indicates you how much of the budget is still available for the case files that are still in the current period and how much of the money that you can still use in terms of planning and executing it. It also gives you an indication of how much have you been overutilizing. Uh, Now, all this also depends upon the data that has been entered in the system. If we put in the correct budget details, the credits, then it would have the correct data. So we encourage everyone to have those details in the system, which could give you some more indications around it. So it gives you a breakdown of how many case files have been overused or underused or well utilized. Yeah. So the underused are in red and overused is in red, and the well used are in the greens and so forth. So if I go into the breakdown here, have, we have some drill downs in here as well that you can drill into and have some more case IDs, details about which clients have been underutilized and overutilized, and you can have your more analysis and have an overview of the budgets here. Similar, it's here describing the expired funding period. So how much of the budgets we could have used and we have lost and we have not planned anything for it. So that's where the indication is on those numbers. Lastly, we have cancellations. So it gives operations a very good view in terms of top 20 cancellations happening across locations, participants, services, and resources, giving you indication of what top 20 locations has um, the most cancellations. So for example, we have given here a comparison between number of jobs um, scheduled in that location versus the number of cancellations happening in that location. So if you look at Perth Hills, you had 240K of jobs scheduled versus 100K cancelled. If you look at here, the proportion is there's 69,000 jobs scheduled, out of which 50 has been cancelled. So the proportion is also important as an indication of what location is having a better ratio of cancellations and what not, and look into more details about what's happening with the cancellations. Um, Similar, we have participants and services and resources. What services, top 20 services has issues with or more cancellations with, or similar with the participant and resources, which top 20 participants and top 20 resources have canceled the jobs. The last one, we have demographics, which gives you an indication overall to compare demographics between clients and the resources. We have the gender, demographics, age group, preferred language, and ethnic status. Um, it's more of the preferences that the organizations usually get in terms of the client preferences to say, I want preferred language resource coming to me, or a preferred language, preferred gender resource allocated to me, and ethnic if you want to look into. So it gives you a bit of strategical things to understand, okay, I have more female clients, whereas I have less maybe female resources. So, and if you have clients that need more preferred resources as females, then we need to go and hire more female resources rather than male resources or something like that. So it gives you a bit of indications on comparison between the preferences list, if there is something, and it gives you an overall strategical view to for higher purposes of the resources, basically. So that's in terms of the default dashboards that VisiCase um, uh, allows you to have them. Whereas we have some more options in terms of analytics. Um, we have advanced analytics in terms of you can create your own reports, you can have your own dashboards, you can create your own stories and share it within the organizations, or you can have your own presentation created. And we also have an AI feature that enables you to create your, dashboard reports quickly based on some quick inputs in the system. I'll quickly show you how to create a report example. We have made you available 2 views at this stage. We intend to add in more, or we can customize the views as you need it. We can add it for each organizations if there's some need for it. And we can make it available for per organization. So in terms of the client view, if I take quickly here, we have made all this data available for the clients, which you can play with and prepare your reports on. As an example, if I have client name and I put in the funding here, you easily drag and drop things. I have this too, and maybe I want to count number of clients based on each of the funding. I have it here quickly. I go to charts. I can drop in and just what I need in my x-axis, y-axis. It would quickly create a chart for you. You can select your charts differently if you want it. Um, quickly go to designs and see it's giving me the data with the chart. I don't want maybe the data. I can deselect it, or if I want it, I can leave it. Depends on it, and I can publish it quickly from here. And I have can give a name to the report. Client funding report. Blah. You will have some default things. You can also make it public or private within the organizations. So public means everybody in the organization who has data analytics available will have access to it. Whereas you could also select private and then select what other people do you want to give access to. Okay. So for example, if I select somebody in there, I can give them access to edit the report, or I can just tell them that you can just have a look at the report. So you can have multiple accesses in terms of it. For now, I'll just make it public and save my report. It's all done. Now I could quickly create a story out of it, a report out of it. What it means, I can just say here, um, management um, management report. I create it. I can edit my story. So if you see, it's like a Word document. You already have a chart in it. These are live charts. It gets updated as it happens. So every month, if you have some management meetings and you have to present certain charts, you could have a management report prepared and say, I want to include 3, 4 charts in it. So I can give some data. I have most clients in NDIS funding example. Yeah, I can also add in more. I can also add in more charts from the dashboards itself or from the reports that I have created separately. So for example, if I take this chart, which is, I just insert it into a story. I can have some options how I want to view it and things. I can add in some text. Now, as again, I said, these are live reports. So say you're preparing this report right now, I can print it. I come a month later, I can print it again, and it will have the updated charts in it. So you don't have to go and prepare it every time with the same data. Definitely, you can go and edit your reports and include more charts in it, but it saves you a lot of time if you have to present the same things every month or for board reports or something like that. So you publish it, or you could also collaborate it with your other team members. So if I add in collaborators, I could select whom I want to collaborate with, add a message for them, and invite them to start contributing to this particular report. I can select something as a background, preview it if I wanted to, see how it looks like. And you will see here who is the author and the collaborators. If somebody would have edited this report, it would show you that it's an editor. So example over here, if you see Tushar, if collaborator has done some changes, this would change to editor, basically. So you could click and then just edit again and publish it. Give it a name, every month, report, put it in the folder that's there in the system. Again, you could make it private or public and present it to whoever users you want, or you could just make it public and everybody would have an access to it. Now, whoever has it, sorry, distribute, it means you can specifically send message to somebody in the system and say, hi, I have made this report, please have a look, and it would send them. You can like the reports here, so you would know who has also read these reports, and if there's somebody's liking it, then you would have it and work on it together. So that's been published, and that's it. So that's a report and a story that you can create. Now, the report that we created just recently, you can have your own dashboards created based on it. So, for example, in a test, you don't have to select this, it's optional. Create a dashboard. You can have your own dashboards here. So, the report that I just created, I can just drag and drop. I want a table or a chart. Maybe I just want a chart. I put it here. I want another one on the gender. Maybe I drag and drop, adjust it. You have various options here to add in images or text or any of those things that you want, any filters that you might want to add in, those kind of things. So you can create your own dashboards as needed with multiple reports that you create in the system. There are many of the settings that you can use from here. You can preview how it is looking like. Yeah. Or, and then, sorry, should have published it. uh, Again, quickly in a test, it's optional. I select what data I want. That's it. Also, I could create the reports straight from here. So if I want to create a report on something, I can just select chart and I can create some reports directly from here. And I can publish it. Select the folder. And again, you can make it public or private. Only if you want certain people to see these dashboards, you can make it private, or you can make it public and organization-wide, everybody could start seeing those dashboards from you. So that's on the dashboards that you can create. Similar, you can have your presentations created directly from here, including the data that we have in the analytics system. So say presentation. It's optional to select if you want particular views, but you can just select a presentation. Again, you have your options to have. So I can add in more slides as I want. Create content slide. I can drag and drop my charts here. Have some text boxes as I want, maybe. And give some title. And I can publish it straight. Again, public and private that you can have. This has been presented and you can have your presentations ready from here itself. Quickly, all these activities you can see in browse section. So you can go and edit this once again if you need it from the browse. I'll quickly show you NLQ. This is an AI feature that we have here. So, for example, just So I can switch. Okay. So if I can select the views that I have access to, start, I want to um, show me approved totals um, by client name between maybe three um, for this month, and I add it. She will, say, just list me client names by approved total for this month quickly. And I can just ask a question and will give me a list of people here with the totals and their. I think I made a mistake here in terms of say uh, list clients by approved totals. You see here it says me count. I can say I want a sum, average, whatever I want here. If I say sum for this month, that's it. Ask a question. Start giving me a list of people that have been approved this month with what total amounts they have. Now you can insert this data quickly to your stories, your dashboards, your presentations as you want from here. It could also give you an automated charts directly. So say I pick up that again and I say compare approved total between this month, and I can say last month example, I name or something, or if I don't want that, I can just maybe not by the client name, and it would just give me a comparison diagram and it a percentage of difference, how much did it drop by, and those kind of things. So it gives me instant reports, data for the views that you have in the system. Uh, we have we are looking into it in terms of advancing this AI feature to say if you can just type in something like say I want to see all the participants that are having more than uh, 5,000 were approved total, and it would give you a list of all those things. So if you just type in a question with more details, this is a bit more a structured question that you have to ask, but that could be just a simple question and it could just give you answers to it. So that is something that we are looking into it and making it available later on in the next version. But you can just start using it in different presentations, dashboards if you wanted to, or you can just save it as needed, and then I just save it. You could also email directly from your to somebody if you wanted within the organization. I could select somebody and I could just add a message and also send them an email directly to see this particular report. I forgot one of the things to highlight, the dashboards. Wherever the dashboards have some timelines, there's a smart alert feature uh, embedded in it, which gives you alerts to say a particular month had a hike or a deep or has been more changing. So you don't have to really go into each of the charts and look into it. Under activity in the timelines, it would start showing you if there are any particular alerts in terms of there are hikes or lows or those kind of stuff. Also in terms of the collaborators of the stories and things that I mentioned before, it comes to the timeline here for you to go and look into it or add something with the existing one or go and edit if you have to, um, and that kind of feature is available. So that's pretty much on the dashboards and advanced analytics, where you can go and create your own reports, dashboards, stories, presentations, and also have an AI feature available to go and ask few questions, and it would just go and display a chart for you or a data for you. Quickly go to my presentation here. In terms of the analytics module, we have two modules, which is the one with the dashboards and the smart signals. And the other one is the advanced analytics, which gives you more options to have your own built dashboards, your reports, have your live board reports done, presentations done, and the AI reporter where it gives you automatic data or charts for the questions that you ask. And in terms of additional services, we can have additional views. As I showed you, the client view and the resource view, we can keep adding more views over there. By default, we would be adding some, but if you have some custom request, we can go and add that as well in that views. And also we could build your own charts, custom charts or dashboards if you don't have an expert, BI expert, and doesn't know how to use the system quickly. We have our experts who can help you create those charts as a service. What's coming up next is we'll have more dashboards in the analytics system. We'll have more new insights in the current dashboards as well. So as you see, there are 4 charts or 2 charts in a particular dashboard. We'll keep adding more in those dashboards currently, and we'll also add more dashboards to have a look into. In terms of advanced analytics, we'll have some advanced level of AI integration happening where you can just ask some questions and it could display you the data or instant charts. We could also have some predictive analytics to help you predict certain things for future and help you make some decisions on it. And we could also add in more data views. So for example, in the same view that we saw for the client and the resources, if you want some extra details about the clients, we can go and add in those particular views as well. So that's coming up in the next versions. In terms of how we shape this further, we really appreciate the user group meetings, and we would highly appreciate the analytics user group meetings where you can have your say, which will be just focused on analytics. And we can understand how we enhance this further, what else can we add in here, and what improvements we can make. So your feedback will be very appreciated. We already have a list of users last time who were interested in it. However, we'll send another survey so that if you want to join that group, just let us know, and we'll shape analytics for the next version. So that's pretty much. I'm going to take questions quickly. I see there are some questions. Sorry, I'm just going to switch.
Anna, thank you for the presentation and for the good work done with the team on this starting offering. Really, that's the first time we present this in the public, in a more public audience. And there were some questions asked, and to some of them, Tusha myself provided answers. There are a few that we take on board, and as a kind of what is common for those questions that we take on board is that there are questions about certain aspects of the data, cancellations and costs, what type of costs are included or what type of cancellations and so on. And my last comment there is just was mentioning that this user group that you presented, that's where such discussions will happen. And obviously there will be many ideas how to refine the data sets to allow this sort of nuances, include, I don't know, exclude cancellations by mistakes, or exclude this or exclude that, or include some other things. So certainly that will come as refinements. So
maybe
yes,
I can just be a bit more.
a question on demographics, yes, Benjamin.
Okay. Yeah, so I was looking at the demographics, and I saw that when it comes to, if you can go there, I think we have got the gender, and in the gender, I saw that it's only male and female. We know that right now we have got in between and
multiple options, yes.
Multiple
Yeah.
options. So if that can be accommodated.
It would depend upon what you have in the system. So we can definitely expand that. We are looking into making it more user-friendly overall in the system, so that you can edit organization-wise. So we are looking into making that customizable drop-down list for you in the future.
But I think, Hannah, in this test data, you might only have these two values.
Yes, in this is the test data. So this is based upon
so
each
if there would be more, they would have
anyways.
appeared.
Yeah, based upon your organization, if you have more values here, you will see more values in here.
Yeah, and I think from regulations as well, I think I don't know, maybe something you need to check as well, like something like that. You need to have more than male and female. I think there's some binding laws. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
That you might have to look into it, because people can see that and cause you trouble.
In the system, as Hannah mentioned, you have the options. It just happens that by coincidence in Hannah's test data, there are only these two values.
Okay.
And that's why they show only these two. But it's a good point. We should actually, because it's made up
I think
data,
there are more drop-down options.
I think there's some regulations around that. Yeah, so there's some regulation, government regulation around that. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, just I thought I would highlight that.
Thank you. There are more questions, and we have from Amanda 2 questions.
How do we analyze? Okay, sorry, I'll take one by one. How can we make sure that the data is recorded in the right location in VisiCase to correctly populate analytics tables and reports? Certain data are linked with the case files. So the services are linked with the case files, and the case files are linked with the locations. So that's how it could be controlled. The incidents are also linked with the participant and the locations, kind of a thing. I think there are links most of the times with the correct locations and stuff. But if there's something that we need to look into it, we should explore that on, and have your feedback on, and we can look into it for sure.
Thank you. I'm just mindful, we always say rubbish in, rubbish out. So I think it's a fantastic tool, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. But it's very much about, is there some kind of map that we know that the information is being drawn, and that all of our care managers, for example, are putting the correct data in the correct location. So if we're drawing an address, that we're drawing the right address, not the carer's address or the doctor's address. So it's just little things like that I'm so conscious of, relying on the data based on it being in the right place and being drawn out correctly.
Yeah.
Yes, you referenced Amanda. Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, I just wanted to say that we have a lot of production check reports in the system, and we are working more into it to enhance them, which would help the admin teams over there in the organizations to work on those and correct anything that's maybe not correct in the system or it's missing or those kind of things. So we'll keep adding more production check reports in the system, cross-check
Lovely.
reports. Yeah.
Yes, you referenced, Amanda, the fundamental law of IT, which as old as IT and for the foreseeable future will still apply. GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. That's unfortunately, no matter how technology progresses, that is still a valid rule.
Yeah.
And
Thank
most of the
you.
time, the links to locations are implicit, as Hannah mentioned. And of course, in terms of refinements that we will add, there are these more complex scenarios that we do have service delivery location, we have coordination location, we have employment location, we have which depends if you're in scenarios that are relevant in your organizations that could be also later added as sort of filters. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. And just while I'm on, my next question is, I'm being very detail minded, so I'm sorry, and I've got my HR hat on. We employ, let's say, 50% casual workforce delivering service. They don't have minimum contract hours recorded in the system because they're casuals. Would they be drawn down as
Overworked.
overworked, underworked, not worked, excluded?
It would be ideal to put in some average number of hours maybe they work. So if they work on an average 20 hours or 25 hours or something, then if you put in that, then you also have and track to say, are my casual workers working more or less to what I have indicated maybe somewhere. I think it's more also to understand that. So in the drill down, you could also have list of people and also the type of the. You could also filter here by the list of full-time, part-time, or casuals in particular. So if you see filter by casuals just, then you would know, okay, that's more with the casuals. But if I just filter by full-time and part-time, maybe, then my charts would look different. So you have those filters to also look into different types of employment.
Thank you.
No worries. I think there was a question from Larry. Can the reports be
exported?
Not straight from here, but you have the share option. We are exploring on that, Larry. However, if you create a report in the story or something, it's a workaround at this stage, but we are trying to explore that. So if you have a detailed here, I select something, there's a chart in it, I could then display table and then I could export it from here somewhere. So there are some workarounds that we can look into it and we can explain you more in detail about it. But yes, certain ways you can export it, not but directly from here.
Apologies for my answer was yes, because I remember that we did have some export to PDF in the introductory session. I'm a bit of a newbie to this module. So apologies for the confusing answer, because I said yes, we can export. But I remember we did some PDF.
Yeah, it's there in from the reports. You could export it, and the reports that I create, I could go and export it from there. But not from the dashboards, directly. So if I browse,
the question was about reports. Yes, about reports.
So if I browse here, okay,
yeah. Stories.
Yes. Those things you can definitely print it.
Yeah. Sure. So maybe that's what I remember. So maybe the question, after all, yes, it's maybe still a valid answer.
For example, if I have created this report here, this one, I can just open it, and I could export, print, or PDF it because this is this kind of a chart. But if it's a table, So it's browsing a lot of data in it. So it takes a few seconds with the browse. With the other sections, you will not experience that.
Just be careful walking there. It won't take long to dry anyway.
Yeah, all good.
Was it your glass bowl in the sink?
Yes, yes.
Just on the side.
Yeah,
This
all good, all
one,
good. I
Open
think.
it.
Yeah, thanks, Aaron and Adrian. I was just my question was related to whether, and I like the feature to be able to design your own reports, but I was wondering whether that comes out as a CSV file, for example, which can be further manipulated and filtered.
I think Hannah is now showing if it's a table, as you.
If it's
Hannah
a
will try
table,
to-
we can show it.
Yes.
But I'm just trying to. Like, this one, is it?
So I do like I think the custom report idea is a great advance.
Yeah. And board reports that can be then refreshed if there is a template for various board reports on different topics, then you can refresh those, and every month you can publish them with the latest data. Yes. I have to say that
well.
one
I think
question
with
was about.
with certain ones you have those options, Larry, but you can print and do it. If it's a data report, because these are graphs, sorry, I have to dig a data one with a list one. If it's a list kind of a report, then you can export it with the Excel or CSV. But if it's a graph report, then it's a print or PDF. That option that you
that's
have.
great. Thank you.
Yeah.
One of the questions was referring to was asked about if data is real time or not, and it's not real time. It's refreshed daily or this time, because in general the dashboards are actually more high level data, and they wouldn't move dramatically. It's not tactical data, it's more strategic data. So say daily refresh at this sort of dashboards, I mean, for board reports or for other presentations, it's in general adequate. I was mentioning that for tactical data, then we have an option that we can explore. It are the KPI tiles on the homepage, which at the moment are not very much used, but they can be also explored. That more tactical data.
Thank you for that, Adrian. It was just being as close to possible as live data as it can be.
Yes,
and at this stage, it is the last night backup data that we have. It's picking up.
Correct. Yes, and it's separate servers, so no matter how wild you report on statistics or stories or whatever, it's not you are hammering different servers, not the production servers. So that's why, because they're totally different. So there is no impact on the performance of the production, which at the moment, some of the reports that exist in VisiCase, or the reports that exist in VisiCase when you log in, are running on the production server. So there is impact from running them. Analytics, it's a separate environment, and that's why the price for it would be that the data transfer happens periodically and it's daily, which, as we said, we will really look forward for your feedback. I don't think that should be a problem from the fact that the data is from last night in general. That's what it will be.
Totally agree, because most of the time that data is going to be used for boards and senior management. So
yes,
you need to prepare in advance.
Yes, correct. And if there might be one incident extra. Unfortunately, let's say if you talk incidents, maybe something happened. But no, if it happened yesterday, it's going to be included. But if it happened exactly that day, that might not be included in the report on that day. There would be on occasion some things like that. But in general, that would be in general enough. Yes.
No worries. Thank you.
No.
Sorry, are there any questions that we have missed? Please just unmute yourself and ask if there's something that we haven't covered.
There are some questions about cancellations, data that we will come back, and we'll go through this chat, and every question that was not answered will come back to you. So,
Thank you. And Hannah, I just put another one in there, and it's more around resourcing. So if we are we able to ask the question, when do we need to recruit more staff based on what the data's telling us? Have we got that kind of line of inquiry yet, or is that on the to-do list?
I mean, you'll have some indication. That's where we have this workload thing. It's not much in future, but we have some predictive analysis that we are working on to see how we can embed it that. But at this stage, you might want to see combining this once to say how many agreements we have, how many of hours we have already scheduled or planned over here, and what's the vacancy looking like? Is it always going vacant? We are not allocating people. And yeah, are people overworked or underworked? I think it's a combination that you can still work out on things. But we'll be working more on predictive, so you could have some more prediction things for these charts. But it can still give you some indications looking at this all together somewhere.
And the forum is this. There will be the user group on analytics, as we were discussing the last user group session. The fact that we'll have specialized user groups on particular topics, and that will be analytics. It's a good one, and I'm sure there'll be discussions and ideas. Yeah.
Sure, Carol. We'll look into it. Sorry, I'm just cautious with the time. I know everybody would have something or the other scheduled and with a tight schedule. Is there something more that we can? We are here, and if anybody wants to leave, that's okay. But we are here to answer if there's something somebody wants to ask.
Oh.
Let us know if you liked analytics, please. Just leave a message for us.
Yeah. Thanks for your time, and thanks, Hannah, for the presentation. Thanks for your time and the questions. Yes, everybody have a nice weekend. And as Hannah mentioned, we look forward to your feedback and ideas. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll end the meeting now.